Hi, this is Daniel here, again, live from Shoptalk, now actually joined by my co-host Efrain Rosario.
Hi, Daniel. Nice to see you in person.
In person. For the second time.
Yeah, ever.
And we're joined by Marija Pasuljevic, who is heading up the e-commerce Association of Serbia. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for being here, and it's really nice doing something live. So it's quite cool, huh?
I'm glad I was able to trick you into it as well.
You're right, though. It's like, how many of these have we done over Zoom over the last 3 years?
Yeah.
And being able to actually do it in person is quite a treat.
Quite an experience, I would say.
It is quite an experience, and every time you meet someone after the Zoom, it's the question of, is the person tall or not? That's the only thing.
I had that very moment happen in a work setting where the person stood up and you're like, wow, you really are tall. You don't look that tall on Zoom.
Yeah. Exactly. What Marija, what have you seen in Shoptalk that's called your attention so far?
Well, so for me, all of the speakers have been really, really good. But what really caught my eye was this morning when Sylvie was presenting for Sephora. The passion she put into it, the way she explained it, the full session was 20 minutes, quick to the point, but it was a very, very good one. So for me, that was a very strong presenter and a very humble way to present it and a very passionate way. She spoke about the brand.
Yeah, because there's only that much that you can do in 20 minutes really. So to be able to make an impact is pretty good.
Well, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no, she had a really good line with beauty is a culture. And she kind of made it around that. And that was for me the key takeaway that I took. Looking at it in terms of a culture was a new way to look at beauty.
Yeah, and to me, I think what's interesting about I think just in general, going back to the point around how much can you really accomplish in 20 minutes? I think and this is my first Shoptalk experience. I haven't been to their conference in the US, but even in terms of some of the discussions that you're having with suppliers or vendors, those are basically in a speed dating type of format. So you have to be very succinct, right?
Yeah.
And you have to, in essence, be able to accomplish whatever you need to get done. I think it's in 12 minutes. So it's actually quite quick, and they actually have you on a clock.
Yeah, but it's the same thing as you have the elevator pitch. It's the famous elevator pitch.
Yeah,
What
of
can
course.
you say? And that's it. You have the elevator going from the first to the fifth floor.
Yeah.
And when you walk out, that's your pitch.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I remember just from prior events. I don't know. He might actually be at this event as well. But there's a gentleman from Zalando who I've seen present before. I think it was at VivaTech a couple of years ago, and he didn't use. The few slides that he used were all visual. So I think I could count on one hand the number of words that he actually had on an actual physical slide, but just the way that he was able to speak to it, and he was able to, in essence, communicate it in a very passionate sort of way in regards to what Zalando was doing. Sounds like it was probably very similar to the experience you had with Sephora, is that, it was probably a very condensed, but very meaty 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And like I told you before we started recording, I'm sorry to have missed it. So I'm hoping that they have it on recording. So that I can
I think they have recorded something.
Yeah, for sure.
And Marija, what is somebody, which I know that you're not actually Serbian, I know you were born in Sweden. Actually, what's a Swedish person doing here representing the e-commerce Association of Serbia?
That's $1 million question, but I'll try to be good. So I work for the e-commerce Association of Serbia, and here actually representing them. So we had a good connection with Shoptalk, and I think it's the right place to be. And I'm quite surprised as many people have actually pinged me on the app to try to have conversations on what they want to do in Serbia. So I think brands are seeing that they can expand into Eastern Europe, and Serbia as being one of the key countries into expanding there. I think there was an article coming out this morning that in Eastern Europe, you have the biggest potential of growth in Serbia. So it's the right place to be. It's the right place to network. And I'm happy that you guys had me quickly on the podcast.
Yeah.
So go ahead, sorry, please. No, I was just going to ask. So for somebody who is relatively unaware of the level of e-commerce development in Serbia, can you tell us just a little bit more in terms of what is it, I guess, relative to other markets in Europe, maybe other markets that you've experienced, like your home country or other places? How does it compare in terms of, like you said, both level of development, but also more in terms of like what are the opportunities that you see for companies looking to expand?
So in terms of comparing Sweden versus Serbia, so Sweden,
Sure.
everyone is expecting to be top notch in terms of e-com. Serbia has had a fantastic double-digit growth.
Yeah.
Over 50%, especially during COVID, etc. Everything switched from offline to online in basically overnight, and they did very well. In terms of delivery services, you can have in Serbia everything delivered to you with just a few clicks. So of course there are certain barriers that you can have as well. But you have a nice company opening up now, which is called Ananas, which is the competitor of other brands that are starting on an A, let's say. Very politically correct.
Yes, yes.
And Ananas will be the biggest platform that we will have in the region, and it's opening up. You have basically, it's a new hub, and it's a mecca for IT and technology companies as well. You have a lot of software development, you have gaming companies. So if you look at the broader picture of e-commerce and Serbia as a country, it is a good country to invest in for the future. You have good workforce.
So it sounds like it's a great place. Like it's in essence, this Ananas company, in addition to the rest of the e-com players in Serbia, are creating a pretty fertile ecosystem in terms of, like you said, not just retail, but some of the other industries as well, just in terms of like talent.
Yeah.
Also.
And that's where the eCommerce Association comes in. We want to be basically in the center and making sure that the ecosystem is growing, but fully growing in terms of education, everything that we're doing, merging together, putting together, and as well being the voice in between the companies and the government if it's needed. Mm-hmm. So it was great seeing our friends from eCommerce Europe here as well. So it was nice meeting with them. Yeah.